Okay, I will create a new folder and I will name it as CSS. Okay, okay, and I will just name it as CSS basics. CSS basics. Okay, and hit enter. Now if I do that and if I double click over here, I have the CSS basics folder created. Now what I want to do, I have opened my Visual Studio Code itself. Now if you don't have the software, there is a code pen software which you can use. Okay, you can use this as an online code editor which you can use. Is open over here. What I want to do, I want to open my folder. When I CSS basics folder, okay, I will select my CSS basics folder. Now when I select my CSS basics folder, I want to create a new file in my CSS basics. So I need at least one index.html file. Okay, so I hope you already know about the basics of HTML. Okay, so I will not go into much detail about what is HTML, how it works, and what are the different syntax or elements or different things about the HTML. I am just going to create a simple what you can say project over here. I have something like an emmet abbreviation. Okay, so this is your exclamation mark. This is called your emmet like when I do this. Okay, so when I just type here, I get a recommendation for emmet abbreviation. It creates what? It creates a rough structure. Okay, it creates a rough like basic what you can say a structure of an HTML document. It creates that. Okay, so now if I see over here, so this is my rough doc as for style sheet. Okay, so this is the full term. CSS is a language used to style a web page. So there are total of three ways in which you can add CSS in your file. Okay, there are total three ways: inline, internal, and external CSS. So basically, I created this structure so that I can style something on. Now, CSS is used to style your HTML document. Okay, so if I just save it and try to go live right now, and if I this right now, na cake recipe website. So I have multiple ways of styling my first, let's discuss about internal CSS. Add it inside our head tag. Inside our head tag, we add the style tag, and in between the style tag, we add our CSS. So for adding CSS, first we have to select which element we want to style. For example, I have this H1 heading. I want to style this H1. So I can write H1 and then curly bracket. Okay. I want to style this heading. So I have selected this cake recipe website with the help of this word H1. I have selected it with the help of word H1. Okay. Now that I have selected it with the help of H1, I want to style it. Okay. So for example, if I want to change the color of the text, if you guys can see right now, the color of text is what? It is black. So I can change it to something else. Maybe I can change it to, so this is used for text color. Okay, so you see my text has this color right now, right? I want to give a background color. Okay, so I can select the background. I can provide the background color with the help of background color property. Okay, so about like according to your favorite color which you want. So I'm using this over. So this was about your, like, we can discuss a little bit of theory also, like what is CSS. It stands for cascading style sheet. It describes how HTML elements will be displayed over your screen. Okay, then you have CSS syntax, like how you can rewrite the CSS syntax. So a CSS rule consists of a selector and a declaration block. Okay, what does it consist of? It consists of a selector and a declaration block. So if you can see, this H1 is the selector and this is the declaration block. Okay, so if you can see over here how we have written this H1 is the selector. Okay, and this curly bracket till here, this is your declaration block. Okay, so yeah, I hope it makes sense. So you have the selector and this declaration block, and in the declaration block you have the property and you have the value. Okay, in the declaration block you have the property and the value. So if you see over here, over here you have the color block. Okay, in the color, this is your property and this is the value. Okay, then for the background color is your property and green yellow is your value, and it ends with a curly this semicolon, right? If you can see, it ends with a semicolon, right? So right now, if we see over here, right now the text is where? Text is on our left side. We can align it to the center also. How you can align it to the center? All you want to do is you to write text align, align property, control S. And if I see over here, it aligned to the center, right? So this is how you can do that. Okay, I hope it makes sense. I can use something like inline CSS also too. I can style it, like I can write style. Then I can choose the property, maybe color. I want maybe this color. Okay, So if I do that and I have to end it with a semicolon. So this is a property, this is the value. Okay, so this is what? This is inline CSS. If I run it right now, you can see wheel of cake is showing like that. Okay. If I want to add more than one property, how I can do that? So yeah, I have two H1, right? So I can apply a class. I hope you know about the class. So I have this class and I can apply the property to it with the help of a dot also. Okay. So I can write over here dot. I can access that text and I can give it a maybe color purple or something like that. I can do that, and if I can see right now, it should look something like this. So this is looking something like this, okay? External CSS, we have to create a CSS file. We write our code in an external file and we can give it any name, but we have to end it with .css. We have to use .css extension to tell it is a CSS file, okay? So style.css. So .css means it is a CSS file. Now inside my CSS file also I can write some code. So for example, like all the code which I have written in my internal CSS, I can write everything in my external CSS. So I can control X, I can just remove that and I can go to my style.css and I can paste everything over here. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So over here I have pasted everything. So you can see in this way I don't have to use style tag in my external CSS file. And yeah, this is my CSS and everything will run the will be removed because why? Because this CSS file needs to be linked with my index.html file. How I can link it? I can link it with the help of style tag. Link tag. I have to use link. Okay, then I have to tell which type of file I'm trying to link. Okay, so I'm trying to link a style sheet, a CSS file. So I have to tell that. After doing that, I have to tell the address of the website. What is the link of the web name of the page which I'm trying to link? It is the style.css. Always choose the correct spelling. So I'm naming it all capital small letter combinations. So inside the head tag, we link it. Okay. So if we see right now over here and if we check it out, so sorry, over here, if we check it out and refresh it, it should work. Let me check. It's working. Color, background color, text align, everything is there. Remove the style. Every everything will go away. Yeah, this is working because this is applied with the help of inline CSS. Can do. So we have learnt about some basics till here. Then there is something called as CSS comments also. So in the CSS comment, like this, you can add a comment. Okay. So how you can write a comment in CSS file? You have to write this, then a asterisk symbol, then again an asterisk symbol, and this. And over here you can write comment. Comment doesn't get displayed over your browser. So you on your web page. So you can simply write, we are learning basics of CSS, or we are learning external CSS or CSS, simply we can write. So yeah, that is about it. So we can save it. If we check it out now, so yeah, nothing is going to show over here. Even if I refresh it, nothing is going to show.